Recording. Bum, bum. What's the Marvel theme? Bum, 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 bum. Hey, Cailin.
What's up, Dara?
Remember how like fun and funny Thor Ragnarok was?
Yeah.
I remember how much awesomeness there was in Black Panther, and we were all just like so happy with everything with Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about Avengers Infinity War.
All right, but before we start, we should let everyone know that we are recording this in a library, so we're going to have our like best NPR voices on now, so we're going to be real quiet and
we're
real
going to try
sultry.
for the most part, but I am sometimes like the Hulk, in which I uncontrollably will yell.
So if somebody walks in and kicks us out right in the middle of this recording, you know it's not my fault.
Guys, okay, so we're talking about Avengers Infinity War. We're going to do spoiler-free / what you need to know for about 3-5 minutes.
So if you haven't seen this yet, these first few minutes are safe for you. If
I would say some people, I would say like of course you've seen it, but then I'm also like tickets are pretty sold out.
Yeah,
I had to go to it's not the shit theater, but it's like now it is because the other theater got renovated, but it's still pretty good theater.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So, like, I feel like some people might have not seen it this weekend.
Yeah. So if you weren't able to see it this weekend and you're like, but I want to see it, but I don't want spoilers, but also I want to know how it is, like, we got you back.
So we're not going to show you our jars full of our tears.
Yeah.
Or our shock blankets.
I forgot mine in my car, so.
Well. All right. So, okay. So, do you want to do your thoughts first since I introed?
Yeah, sure. Wow. It's so hard to talk about this movie without giving anything away, and I think
they were really good at like not
spoiling anything. I know
it's kind of like with The Last Jedi. The trailers kind of mess with you.
Yeah, like what you see in the trailers isn't necessarily what you get, or like the scenes you see, they're in a completely different context, and that's really great, and that's something I really love.
I have to point out I have something else that I want to point out, but it's a spoiler. So
okay, so we'll wait. But non-spoiler review, it's hard to talk about this movie without giving spoilers, and I kind of love that. I love when you don't know what you're seeing in the movie, and there's so much that happens. This movie it just blew me away. I think it exceeded my expectations. I was nervous for this movie at first.
You were probably more. I was getting nervous, but it was kind of like from like you and other people talking about it.
I was very nervous for this movie. I didn't know how they were going to make it happen, but they made it happen.
Because my thing was just because if we look at it, it's the Russo brothers who directed Winter Soldier and Civil War, which are I think two of the best movies, and then the writers also they wrote all of the Captain America movies, which people I still may have not seen the first Captain America movie, but people have said that it's like those are like the best. So I'm like, okay, well, this team, and obviously the big difference is that instead of just like Captain America and like just like a small group of people, it's like it's everybody.
Yeah, it's everybody, and at first I was like, there's no way they can pull this off, but I think they do it pretty well, and I think that's all I can say without giving things away. Yeah, but if you're looking for recommendations, I don't think this is a movie for everyone.
No, I think because some people say if you haven't seen every Marvel movie, you're gonna get lost. Except I think it's more like 90% because I haven't seen every Marvel movie.
There's certain Marvel movies that you can go without seeing before seeing this one. I think we'll get back into that in a second with what you should see.
I think there's something people say I should have seen, but I don't think I've seen them. But I'm the type of person if I haven't seen it, I keep up with it.
Yeah.
So I kind of know what happens.
Yeah. But if this is a movie where it's like an amalgam of all of the Marvel movies coming together, so there's not really enough time for characters. So if you're want something with a lot of character arcs and such this, now you may not enjoy this movie. If you like films, this is a fun action movie. This is an action adventure. No, because if you're wants a more traditional style film, this might not be for you. If you think more than 5 characters is too many characters in a movie, this movie isn't going to be for you. But if you've been keeping up with all of the films, I think you're really gonna have you're gonna really enjoy this movie.
I think you say that, and I don't my thing is I remember when because I kind of was comparing this to both some Star Wars stuff when it comes to like structure, and then also the last 2 Harry Potter films in structure. And I remember when the last Harry Potter movie came out, and I was watching Jeremy Jahns, and he said people were complaining that there wasn't any character development, and he said, yes, there is. It's called movies 1 through 7.
Yes.
So I feel that there is character development. It's called movies Iron Man through Black Panther.
Yeah.
That's your character development.
Because you don't necessarily need it for
that's not
what this movie is.
And I wasn't expecting that. There were actually some really good character moments.
Yes.
Some people got, like, even some characters I'm surprised got moments.
Some the actors in this movie, like, pulled out all the stops.
Yeah, I think I'll say, like, one thing, like, I don't think anybody's going to complain about. All the acting is phenomenal.
Yes.
Everybody gives it their all.
Like, and you forget, like, how star-studded of a cast this is. There's some giant names in here, and they can act, and they show it, and it's great.
I think because everybody's giving it 100% because they've been with this forever, and you can tell that they love doing this. And, like, they want to be there just, like, anyway.
Yeah, and...
for these.
But yeah, so, because I want to talk about some of the really good acting moments that stood out to me, but we'll have to wait for the spoilers for that, because there's no way I could talk about any of that until we get to the spoilers. But also, what are your non-spoiler thoughts?
Again, acting, phenomenal. Effects, really good.
Yes.
Everything looked good.
Wow. Yeah, a lot of CG characters, which isn't a spoiler because, like, Thanos is all CG, Rocket Raccoon, all CG.
Yeah, if I will say, like, I don't think this is a spoiler. If I want to bring up, like, acting, like, MVP, I'm going to say Josh Brolin as Thanos.
Yeah.
We can't get into more, but, like, guys, it's good.
Yeah.
And, I lost my... yeah, it's really hard to talk about spoilers. Like, again, special effects are really good. If I had flaws, and it's not exactly a nitpick, but I would say the structure of it kind of reminded me of Rogue One. I think better than Rogue One, but better. But
a lot better than Rogue One.
Yes, but like the structure for Rogue One, I think we talked about this, is that the first 2/3 of Rogue One are okay, and then the last third is great. I would say. The first act of the movie is good. Yeah. I think it's the weakest of the acts, but I think it's good. Okay. The second act is great, and then the third act is phenomenal. Yeah. And the end, and the beginnings, and just, and there's definitely, like, some surprises. But overall, like, I really enjoyed it. I would put it up there as probably one of the best. I don't think I put it up there with, like, the ones that are, like, my favorites, because, like, my favorites are the one I can watch over and over again. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to watch this again until maybe the sequel. Really? Until the sequel comes. It's
really, as soon as I watched the movie, I wanted to watch it again.
I think it's just, like, I can't, like, it's the ones that I kind of, like, watch on repeats are, like, the Guardians of the Galaxy and, like, the Avengers. Yeah. The fun ones that, like, I can watch constantly, and I'm, like, I'm in a good mood. Like,
this one pulls a lot of emotion.
It kind of reminded me of, like, Winter Soldier, where it's, like, it's just a lot. Yeah. And, like, which is a lot. And I guess Civil War is kind of one I watch on repeat, but even that one, like, I can't watch all the time because it's draining. But this one's, you know, it's, oh God, it's so hard to talk about it.
Yeah. So before we get into spoilers, what movies would you say you have to see? What Marvel movies
you probably know better than I do.
Before going into this.
How about you say that, and I'm going to, like, I think there's points we need to tell, like, people. Okay. Like, going into the movie is, like, a warning.
You don't have to see Black Panther, because I saw this with my family.
But you should see Black Panther.
You should see Black Panther because it's Black Panther and it's a great movie. But in order to watch this movie, like, if you just didn't have a chance to get to the theater, but you do have a chance to get to the theater for this movie, you should you should see Black Panther. You don't have to. Thor Ragnarok. You have to see Thor Ragnarok before going into this movie, I think.
Yeah.
The movie, this is, like, not really a spoiler, but the movie literally picks up at the end of Thor Ragnarok. Yeah. So, and there's some things with, like, certain characters. I don't want to spoil Thor Ragnarok either, I guess, if you haven't seen it yet, because you should just go see it. But some certain, like, characters and stuff were affected in Thor Ragnarok, and that makes a lot of sense, especially in the first, like, 10 minutes of the movie. So I really think you should see Thor Ragnarok before seeing this. I was talking to somebody who hadn't seen Thor Ragnarok before seeing this movie. I'm like, weren't you confused in, like, first 10 minutes of the movie?
I think you can, like, pick it up, but okay.
You can pick it up, but I think to set up some context, Thor Ragnarok. Obviously, the last two Avengers movies, you have to see, like, Age of Ultron and the Avengers. Yes. Civil War. You have to see. You should see. Well,
you should see it because it's a good movie.
I mean, Civil War introduces some characters in case you didn't get to see.
Also, it's kind of like the setup. That's like why everybody is where they are.
Yeah. You don't have to see Spider-Man Homecoming, I don't think. If you've seen Civil War, you don't have to see Spider-Man Homecoming before seeing this movie.
I haven't seen Spider-Man Homecoming, so.
Really?
We talked about this.
So good.
I just haven't got around to it.
I know, but that was a while ago we talked about that. So yeah, a lot of the solo movies, you don't necessarily have to see. A lot of the sequels to those movies and like the main Avengers movies you should see before going into this. You don't have to see Ant-Man.
Yeah.
At all.
Not at all.
You have to see that one.
I think like some people said you should probably see like Thor: The Dark World because of like one.
Oh yeah, because
but like I didn't,
because there's an Infinity Stone in Thor: The Dark World, but also I don't care about Thor: The Dark World.
I didn't see it, but I saw the ending credit scenes. So, like I knew.
Yeah,
because I'm trying to remember because like I think I forgot kind of like where all the like.
Because yeah, if you want to know where all of the Infinity Stones are before. Coming into this movie, you technically have to watch Thor: The Dark World.
Or you can just watch the end credit scene.
Or yeah, just watch the last 15 minutes of the film, and that's it.
Yeah, so I think talk about like what people should know going into it. And I've like kind of read some reviews like knowing, because they said like here's what you should like know going into it, which is that it's a lot, definitely a lot.
Yes.
I heard emotionally draining, which
yes,
and I think,
but in a good way.
I would say this, and it's kind of I guess it is like another flaw, but I will say this movie does not work. I think it probably works 80% as a standalone movie.
Really?
If you think about it.
I would have said a lot lower.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you have to know a lot going into this movie for
everything. No, not like in that sense.
Oh, okay.
I meant that it is a part one. Oh. That's what I meant. I think it works 80% as a standalone movie.
Yeah, okay, I agree then.
With like a part one. So, because like the thing was when like they announced it was supposed to be Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2.
Yeah. And
then they said, oh no, this works as like they both work as a standalone. This one does not work fully as a standalone movie.
No. Well,
like it's hard to judge.
It can, but okay, I don't want to get into any spoilers. It's hard to judge, can, but also it can't.
It's hard to judge this movie without I feel like I can judge it, but I can't judge it. It's again, I'm gonna bring this up. It's kind of like the last few Harry Potter movies. It's easier to judge them as a whole.
Yeah.
So we got to figure out what happens in the next one, which we both have theories on. But those are what I'm gonna say. So I would say go see it. Best quality theater because it's a very pretty movie.
Yeah, I saw it in IMAX 2D.
How was that?
Fabulous.
I just saw it in normal.
Yeah, I don't like. Yeah, the theater I went, I don't think it did have it in 3D, but you don't need to see this movie in 3D because it's. Certain movies are cool in 3D. Like Guardians of the Galaxy movies are really awesome in 3D.
I saw that in IMAX, the first one.
Yeah, IMAX 3D is awesome. But if you see this in IMAX 2D, that's what I saw it and it was a great experience. So in a crowded theater, if you can see it in a crowded theater, because I had the best experience in a crowded theater because literally everyone was like clapping and going like, oh, oh, oh. It was great. I love that kind of experience. So. All
right, so I think we're good.
Yeah, are we going into spoiler territory?
Yeah, so
all right, warning. Click away if you haven't seen this movie yet.
We can put like I don't know if we can put it like in annotations.
Annotation. They don't have annotations on YouTube anymore.
What?
Yeah.
I thought you could do that. But I've seen like clicking thing on like comments. I figured you could.
No, you can't do annotations anymore.
Whatever.
Anyway, spoilers.
Spoilers. Everybody's dead.
Yeah.
I was going to say, do we want to do spoilers or do we just want to cry for an hour?
I mean, it's a little bit of both, I think.
Okay, not everybody's dead.
Literally half of everyone.
I actually like looked up the listing. It's like not okay. So there's like this is really depressing. There's 2 death groups.
Yeah.
And so there's like people like who died before because like
people who got killed and people who got dusted.
Because like spoiler alerts, Thanos snaps his fingers.
Yeah.
And
does what he wants to do. Yeah.
And then people go turn to dust. But I looked it up. So if you want to count like the people who are left like after the snapping and the evaporating, it's like literally 10 and 10.
Yeah.
I was like, is it exact? And it is. And I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yes.
But so I just brought up that spoiler. So
everything's thoroughly spoiled.
Did you like, because like I kind of compared it to, because like, so I had a theory about like how the movie is actually going to end. I had a couple theories. I literally wrote out, I texted Cailin Sunday, and because I was at the gym, and I was like watching Infinity War trailer because they were on TV, and I had like a theory in my head, which turned out to be completely wrong.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to put my jacket. Sorry.
Spider-Man.
I forgot about my Spider-Man jacket.
Oh, Peter.
Yeah, so now
Spider-Man's dead, guys.
Rest in peace, Peter.
I would say, like,
both Peters are gone.
Both Peters are gone. I would say, like, I wasn't sure if I was going to tear up when, like, during the whole movie, and then, like, that started happening. But, like, goddamn Tom Holland, Peter Parker.
Oh, yeah.
I teared up. I literally did.
He's
like, I
one
don't want to
of
go.
the actors that stood out to me in this film. That scene with Tom Holland did phenomenally in that scene.
Oh, my God.
Like, he really showed his chops, and that was so good. And really
I think
emotional.
is he the youngest not Avenger, but, like, of the cast?
Yeah, he's younger than us. So
yeah, good for you, boy.
Good for you, boy. I mean, yeah, he's like the same age as my brother, I think.
And now he's dead.
Now he's dead. Sorry, what you're saying about your theory?
Well, my theory was basically because, like, also I need to bring this up. So Cailin was very adamant that Captain America was going to die in this movie.
I'll talk about my bingo card in a second. I have it here.
She has a bingo card, but she was so very adamant, and I was kind of on the fence, mainly because there's another movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, maybe he could, because I figured out, like, what actually happened with the Infinity Gauntlet, that it snapped and, like, people were going to die.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, maybe it could happen. And then I was like, okay, now I'm thinking more likely that it's, like, Cap and Tony are going to die in this one, because I'm like, okay, so Infinity War, this movie's going to be, like, the end of the Avengers as we know it. And then the next movie is going to be setting up everything else.
Yeah.
But I feel like
it's kind of flipped.
Flipped,
in the sense that everyone who's left
is like from phase one.
It's from phase one. It's
from phase one and side characters, and then the only exception to that is Rocket.
Rocket, yeah.
Because I think they just wanted one Guardian alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically we name off. Okay, so we just like we'll go into like other stuff, but I think we should just name off who's dead, just to, like, get this out. Because guys, it's really sad.
Yeah.
So Bucky, Falcon, Scarlet Witch,
Is this everyone who got dusted or everyone who just died?
Everyone who got dusted.
Dusted, okay.
We'll go to... I think there's more discussion with the people who died.
Okay, yeah.
Well, for a couple of them. Anyway.
True.
T'Challa, yeah. Our king is dead.
Doctor Strange.
Guardians
of the Galaxy.
Star-Lord, Drax, Mantis,
Groot,
Spider-Man.
That's 10.
That's 10, so that's it.
Yeah.
And if we didn't name somebody, we'll get to them.
Yeah, then they died in a really depressing way.
Some people did. Guys, this movie, I didn't know, like, it was gonna... I wouldn't call it a gut punch. Like, I would not call it an emotional gut punch. I would call it an emotional chainsaw through my guts, a la Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you see that Did you see that ending? Like, I kind of... Not that...
Okay. So I thought... My theory going into this was at the end of this movie, because it's a two-parter.
Yes.
So you can't end on a victory with a two-parter, in my opinion. So I knew Thanos was going to get the upper hand some way. I didn't know how far it was going to go. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't sure if he was, like, going to carry out his plan or, like, he would be about to. I thought the movie would end with him getting all the stones, but I didn't think he'd go much farther than that. But it did.
Yeah. So my thing was, because I heard, like, this one theory from a bunch of people on how this was going to end, and their whole thing was that Thanos was going to get all the stones, and it was going to be, like, this giant, like, ending battle thing. Basically, it was kind of going to be the way it ended, but it was going to be... I have a metaphor, guys. Ooh. It was going to be, like, that kind of ending, but it was going to be, like Bambi, where it's, like, you don't actually see it.
Oh, okay.
Because, like, basically, like, somebody said, like, it was going to be, like, a giant battle. Thanos was going to win the battle, and everybody's going to be on the ground, either dead or dying, and you don't know which one's which.
Oh, and then, kind of like that scene from Age of Ultron with Tony Stark's vision.
Yeah. I've heard theories about that. But, and then Thanos was going to see his fingers, and then he was going to snap, and then it was going to cut. Yeah. That's what I've been hearing from people. What we got, however, was Lion King. We just see everything.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, guys.
But oh my goodness, I think.
And I remember, because, like, as I was seeing everybody, there was a couple thoughts I had, like, as I was seeing everybody, once, like, the finger snapped, and then as I was seeing kind of everybody evaporate, I'm like, oh shit, we're gonna end on this, aren't we?
Yeah.
I'm just like,
yeah. Well, yeah, because it was like, I think this was such a great theater experience movie. I'm going to talk about that a lot. But literally everyone was just dead quiet in the theater. And we were in a packed, like, IMAX theater, dead quiet as this is going on. Except, like, there was 2 scenes where, like, everyone in the audience was like, "Aw." And that was Groot first and then Spider-Man. Both scenes everyone in the audience
can I bring this up? Rocket has now had to watch Groot die twice.
This poor
rabbit.
This poor rabbit.
This movie was funny.
Mm-hmm.
I think like mainly the first act was really like the funny bits, and then it started getting more and more serious, and then that ending
though.
That ending just crushes you.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I know we should talk about like other stuff because like I knew we were gonna go through this movie like plot by plot point because you just can't.
Well, can we talk? Well, maybe should we break down like good, bad, ugly kind of thing?
I think one thing, yeah.
Yeah, what's...
Okay, so, like, ending aside, I think besides, like, the fact that the ending was soul-crushing, it was a pretty phenomenal ending.
It's so funny because, like, this movie, like, I think I came out of this because, I don't know, sometimes I can, like, I guess separate myself from the emotion of a movie, and, like, I came out, wow, what a great ending.
Okay, yeah, guys,
that was
so
me.
Literally...
I was like, wow, what a phenomenal
like, we didn't see this movie together, but, like, we saw it basically at the same time.
At the same exact time, yeah.
So, I think yours might have been, like, a little bit performance.
Yeah, because I texted you.
Yeah, like, literally...
Dara, holy shit.
Yeah, like literally, I check my phone after the movie's done, and I get a text, and I see a message. She's like, holy shit. And I'm like, so I think one thing I kind of did like was kind of, they didn't feel the need to like go through like what they've been doing for like 2 years. They're kind of like, here they are now. You guys can probably fill in the blanks.
You've seen the movies. We don't need to backtrack and talk about this.
Yeah, like, I mean, if you know from Civil War, they're all kind of, like, separate, and you see that, like, you see where everybody's, like, where they are, and it makes sense that they are where they are. Mm-hmm. Like, because the one thing is, like, they bring up, if you see in, like, the trailers, they bring up that, like, you know, like, in the comics, Scarlet Witch and Vision are a thing.
Yeah.
And, like, they don't feel the need to, like... They don't feel the need to set up, like, how they got together. Because, like, if you saw Civil War, they had chemistry.
Yeah, and they, like, look like they're about to. And so, like, they're together, and everyone's like, oh, okay.
And they're in a hotel room, and they're doing it. And I'll say this, like, I remember when I saw the trailers, and, like, Vision had, like, hair, and he was, like, kind of looking more like Paul Bettany. Mm-hmm. And I was so mad. I'm like, don't do that. Like, that looked really weird to me. Yeah. But then they set it up. They're like, oh, it's kind of just like a... What's the word?
Like, not camouflage, but, like, a disguise. It's like...
Like a disguise kind of
thing. It's, like, part of his power to, like...
alter his appearance. So like he could like, and then so like whenever they went out, he looked like a full, like he just looked like Paul Bettany.
Yeah.
But then once like he's kind of in like action mode, he goes back to looking like normal Vision.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
And like that Falcon and Steve and Natasha are just kind of doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Hulk and
Steve grows a nice beard. Yeah. And every like the moment he shows up, everyone in the theater's like, yeah.
So you know where they are, Tony, and I mean obviously Tony's in New York and he's back with Pepper. Was that in the Spider-Man Homecoming?
Yes. Okay. At the very end of Spider-Man Homecoming, yeah, they get together and.
But they were on a break in Civil War.
Yeah, no, but they get back together basically at the end of Spider-Man Homecoming. So.
Hooray.
Yeah.
I like them together.
Yeah.
They were like, I'm not big on like the Avengers and like their romances because like, they're not that good. I like them though.
They're fun, yeah.
Good. Well, they have good chemistry.
They had 3 whole movies to build it up.
And they have good chemistry. And then Strange is in New York and protecting stuff. And I remember there was like this whole thing because like we saw Doctor Strange, people were saying like, oh, like he's just basically another version of Tony Stark. But kind of like seeing Tony Stark and Doctor Strange together.
Yeah.
It's kind of like not the case. It kind of seemed like Doctor Strange kind of mellowed out since his movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, also, like, the pairing ups were interesting, because, like, they wasn't exactly what I was expecting.
No, but that's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
Because then you have, like, these characters who you don't expect to be in the same room together.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of fun.
And,
like, Doctor Strange and Tony Stark, there's similarities, but it's their similarities that kind of make them butt heads.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's fun.
And the Guardians are just, it's been, like, a while since their movie. Gamora and Peter Quill are kind of, like, officially together now. We'll get to Gamora, by the way.
Yes and no.
Well, like, because it's been, like, a number of years. I feel like they're kind of, like, more, like, they're not, like, together, but it's kind of, like...
Because they always had that kind of will there, won't they?
I think, like, now
they're kind of there. But, like, because, I feel like the events of this movie kind of speed that process up to them being, like, oh, we're all gonna die.
Well, I think somebody said that it was, like, it's been 4 years since the Guardians movie, so I feel like like, if you know that there's, like, a time gap, you're kind of like, all right.
Yeah.
What else? You know where, if you saw Thor Ragnarok, you know obviously where Thor and Hulk are.
Yeah, this movie literally takes place.
If you saw Black Panther, you know where Black Panther is, and you know where Bucky is.
Yeah. Well, if you saw Civil War, you know where Bucky is.
That too.
Yeah, he's in Wakanda.
Wakanda
forever.
And they lost their king.
Oh. But he has a sequel coming out. How does that work?
We'll get to that.
Yeah, okay. We'll get to that.
I think that's more of in the theory thing.
Yeah.
So I would say like the first act was like I said like not the best for me just because like it was there were so many separate teams kind of thing.
Yeah, everyone was in the process of coming together.
Yeah. So for a while it's Strange and Tony and Wong and Spidey wasn't with them at that point, right? Oh, and
he comes in. Kind of towards the beginning.
No, Hulk, because Bruce Banner.
Yeah, Bruce Banner literally
he falls from.
Literally, Heimdall uses his like dying breath to like send.
Oh yeah, cold opening. Heimdall and Loki are dead.
Yeah. Did you see this movie? And like the first death was Heimdall, and you're like, of course, the black guy is the first day to kind of die in the movie.
I've actually heard that Idris Elba was like not a fan of doing these movies, and I think he's kind of like, can I just die now?
Yeah. Well, I kind of figured he was going to die anyway, but he was the first person to die, which was kind of funny. But yeah, like,
and also like I'll say this, like the Loki death kind of got spoiled for me.
Really?
Well, so stupid BuzzFeed. They were making a list of like people who they think are gonna die, and like the number one was Loki, and like that wasn't even in my head, and then it got into my head, and I'm like. So I saw it. I'm like, like I was still upset.
Yeah.
Because, and we'll talk about like other. I guess we can go into like, well, like as we're going through, we'll talk about like some of the deaths. I think Heimdall and Loki are dead. Yeah. I don't think they're coming back.
Yeah, I see a lot of theories about like how Loki could not be dead. And I'm just like, guys, I don't care. Just like he can be dead.
I love Loki and I love Tom Hiddleston. Mm-hmm. He's kind of starting to get lower on like the best villain thing now. Yeah, because like for a while, because like he was like kind of like up there like second best to like Killmonger. Yeah, and now they're both kind of dropped. Yeah, motherfucking Thanos. What a great. Yeah, we didn't even take a second. We keep going all over the place. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but yeah, so there's like that team, and then after most of the people on the Asgardian ship are dead.
Yeah,
except for the
where the hell is Valkyrie?
She's alive because I didn't see her, so she's alive.
I kept thinking about you and in the movie because I was like, I didn't see a body. She can't be dead.
There's a couple people like you don't actually see. You don't see them after like any death or like evaporating thing. Mm-hmm. Like Shuri.
Yeah, you don't see we don't. Well, there's like characters. There's just too many to like figure out.
So I'm saying, guys, like if we didn't see them die in any way or evaporate, I'm saying they're alive until further notice.
Like Valkyrie and Shuri.
I hope Shuri's still alive. I love her.
Yeah.
And then so then Bruce like drops down, and then there's like that whole thing, and then Spider-Man joins in, and then that's kind of a team, and then Thor kind of meets up with the Guardians which is great. That was good.
You know what's so great about the Guardians though? Like the I'm not sure, this is probably like a tangent real quick, but the Guardians have such a unique kind of energy and brand, and James Gunn did such a good job of like creating a very specific just like feeling and atmosphere of the Guardians. Like everybody knew when the Guardians were coming before the Guardians even showed up on screen.
Yeah, sure. They just play a song. And
they play a song, and everybody knows it's the Guardians, and that was so good. I think So there's a lot of different props to go around there. I think James Gunn gets props for that though, because he is such a cornerstone of like how the Guardians movies are, and like where everyone can just recognize what something is.
Well, I'm looking forward to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, so. We'll get to it.
Rocket Raccoon the movie.
Aww. I'd watch that, honestly. Actually, no, I don't know if I can watch a movie with just Rocket. Like, I love him.
I could.
He's one of my faves. I love him. But, and so then they're a thing, and then they kind of split.
Yeah.
Because they need to go get a Axowitz from Giant Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, that was so funny. Because
I'm like
it's because they're the dwarves, but they didn't say they're like dwarves. They're big old giant dwarves.
Yeah, so then
of course it's Peter Dinklage.
Of course,
because no other little people exist in Hollywood except Peter Dinklage.
But he's been tangling the Marvel universes like twice because wasn't he the villain in X-Men: Days of Future Past?
Yeah, but that was a different.
That's true.
Yeah,
well, for now,
say the same for Michael.
But now it's a different universe.
We can see the same for Michael B. Jordan
and Chris Evans.
Yeah,
and I think that's it. I think that's it.
Yeah. Anyone who matters.
Yeah, anyway. And so then Thor goes off with Rocket and Groot. Mm-hmm. And then it's just like the rest of the Guardians.
And the Guardians who later meet up with...
most of the Guardians end up meeting up with Tony and
Doctor Strange
and Spider-Man. And that kind of thing, because like they basically Strange and Spidey and Tony get like on a ship from like Thanos and like that, so that's how they all meet up. And then there's like the other stuff, which is at first you just see like Vision and Scarlet Witch, and then they get attacked because Vision's got an Infinity Stone.
Yeah, but anyone who has an Infinity Stone, which is a lot of characters in this movie, they're screwed.
Is it a lot?
Well,
on Earth, it's just...
everyone can trace it. There was only one Infinity Stone that was unaccounted for, and everyone else who was in possession of one dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, because literally, okay, where all the Infinity Stones were before this movie, you had the Reality Stone gem, which was with the Collector. We don't even see the Collector.
Oh, yeah.
He was dead the whole time. It was a Vision.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you see it? I saw the movie.
I know. I just like that kind of messed with me a bit. So.
Yeah. So who's like dead upon arrival, and then Loki had the Tesseract, and so he dies, and then Doctor Strange had the.
What was in the Tesseract? Which one was in the Tesseract?
That was space. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I just have a quick question. Did Thanos have like any of the stones before the beginning of the movie?
He had the power gem because...
What was that?
That was the one that was on Nova Prime.
Oh, the one from... Did they save
the first Guardians? Yes.
Okay, so there's that one,
and then... He said he literally destroyed Xandar.
And then...
not Nova Prime, Xandar. Nova Prime was like a character. Sorry, guys.
And then Loki had Xandar. The space one, and then the reality one was with the Collector.
Yeah.
There's 6, right?
Yes.
The Soul Stone, which we'll get to in a second.
Soul Stone, which was the only one that was unaccounted for before this movie started.
And then Time was with Strange, and then the Mind was the Vision. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So then
anybody who was in possession of a Infinity Stone died.
Yes, and then Vision and Scarlet Witch get attacked, and then actually Bruce had called Steve.
Yeah.
So then Steve, Falcon, and Natasha come and like save them, and then they go back to like the Avengers quarters, I guess, with Rhodey. Did Rhodey kind of count as like a superhero in Iron Man 2?
Sure.
Okay, because he didn't die either.
He's War Machine.
Yeah, so he didn't die either.
Yeah, so he's a phase one.
Because I was going to say, like, okay, I'll get to it in a second.
Yeah.
Because we're getting off track. And there was, like, the stupid thing with the government, because, like, Steve comes in and they keep saying arrest him, and I'm just like, guys, there's bigger issues right now.
Literally an alien invasion.
Good job. Good job with Rhodey being like, nope.
Yeah.
Doing that, and then Bruce shows up. And luckily they didn't do that much with Bruce and Natasha.
They
were like, hi.
I was really happy about that because I'm not sure if I've made this known before.
You don't like them as a couple.
I don't. Well, because the way it was done in Age of Ultron was terrible. Like,
yeah, I will say,
if it was handled better, maybe I would care. But also, the way it was handled in Age of Ultron was stupid, and I hated it. And so now the whole like pairing leaves a sour taste in my mouth.
I would say the only reason like I would like it is because Scarlett Johansson and Mark Ruffalo are very good actors, and I think they pulled it off as actors.
Yeah, it's
more the writing
with what they had.
Yes,
yeah.
I will give. So that's kind of my thing. Like no, well, yes. I meant like we're not get into that because they don't really get into it. They're just like, hi, this is awkward, let's go.
Yeah. Falcon makes this is awkward, and it was kind of funny, and so I'm glad they didn't touch on it further. I think we'll see more of it in the next movie. But so then there was no time for that shit.
And then they get to Wakanda, so it's Steve, Natasha, Rhodey, Falcon, Bruce, Black Panther, and Bucky. I think that's it. So they're all in Wakanda, and then you got like 3 teams, which then decreases to 2 at one point.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like as Liv's like getting more decreased into like the location. Yeah. I think it was getting better.
Yeah. Yeah. It kind of streamlined things a bit.
Yeah.
And so, but I still I think out of all the different groups, I'm trying to think of like which had the strongest plot line and which had the weakest. I think the Wakanda was the weakest part.
They didn't have a plot line really. They were just kind of like
they were just like.
Because like once it gets set down to like, because like for a while it's the group, the Iron Man people, like Iron Man group, kind of saving the Time Stone. This is the plot basically. Yeah. Everybody in Wakanda saving the Mind Stone from Vision, and like kind of get it out of his head, and then they figure Scarlet Witch to just destroy it. Because the idea is that like, well, maybe Vision's like more than the Mind Stone, and like he can survive without it.
Yeah. Yeah,
because that's it.
He's
and then,
not just, he wasn't made necessarily for, the stone helped him get made, but at the end he was still made of this. There
was this interview with Paul Bettany and Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah.
And because they were talking about who would be the best man. Who would be the best man at Scarlet Witch and Vision's wedding. And Elizabeth Olsen's like, well, not Tony. He's like, what? He's like, Tony hates me. It's like, yeah, but he's my dad. And so is Mark Ruffalo.
Oh, that's perfect. I love that.
So then they're trying to save the Mind Stone, and then the Thor, Rocket, and Groot are trying to get an axe made. That's why there was Peter Dinklage and like that kind of thing.
Yeah, because they need a weapon that's capable of killing Thanos.
And then when they get down to that, then they go into Wakanda.
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of the plot lines for both. I would say, I think it's like the reason though the Wakanda kind of the least is because like that's where a majority of everybody was.
Yeah.
And like with the where was it playing on there on Titan?
I think.
Yes.
Yeah, Titan.
Sure.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's kind of like there was less characters and so it was a bit more intimate, I think.
Yeah, well,
and that kind of thing.
Yeah, with Wakanda too, it wasn't like necessarily we had like it wasn't an active plot. It was on Wakanda. It was just like we have to protect this thing. So it was just basically the whole plot was defend the castle.
Yes.
So like, and that isn't necessarily compelling. I mean, it creates some really good action scenes, but as a plot, it's not necessarily compelling. So that it just ended up being the weakest part because it wasn't like super.
Yeah,
involved.
I think when we say this, like it's like the weakest part. It's not bad though.
It's not bad. It just didn't have like kind of meat to it. It was just like cool action scenes, and that was it.
But I think we'll go to. I think that'll bring up to a theory for the next one.
Okay.
I would say I want to kind of go into. There was other plot lines going on as well. Mm-hmm. So I will say this as like another kind of MVP besides Josh Brolin. People saying like it was kind of like Thanos' movie, which I agree with.
Yeah.
But I would say another MVP, Zoe Saldana. Goddamn.
Zoe Saldana did a great job.
I think like because I think she got like a lot of character moments and like Gamora because like there's like one point where she like kills Thanos. She doesn't actually.
Yeah, but
and like she's crying because like it's her dad. And
yeah, because like you see that like obviously it's like this really kind of conflicting thing because Thanos, spoiler alert, is a terrible person.
Yes.
But he's also somebody
like I understood his reason. Like I understood like not I didn't agree with it at all. Like his why he wanted to do what he wanted to do. But it's kind of like a thing of like I get it.
Yeah, I think we can take time to talk about Thanos in general. But like as far as back to
best Marvel villain,
going back to Gamora.
Sorry, okay. I thought we were just gonna go.
No. I was in the middle of a statement.
Sorry, continue.
Yeah, no, going back to Gamora, and it was really conflicting because like Thanos was somebody who like almost saved her as a kid and like raised her like because she was only like really tiny. We get to see that, and so we have some flashbacks. Mm-hmm. So she was really tiny, and so it's conflicting. Somebody who raised her to basically had to be so much of who she was today was because of Thanos, for better or worse. And then there's a part where she thinks she kills him, and like it's a lot of emotion, and you can see like how much it is, and she just kind of almost reverts back to like this kind of childlike state where she kind of draws inward and kind of goes to that fetal position, and you can see like how much of that like troubled child is still kind of there, and that was a really nice scene. Yeah,
and she not like a nice scene with like Peter because like there's a point where like because like she says she knows where the Soul Stone is, and she basically like, says to Peter like if Thanos gets me, you have to kill me, and it's like. And it's like that was actually a really nice moment between them.
Yeah, that scene was very good. And yeah, we can talk a lot about probably Peter too as a character in this, like Star-Lord as a character in this film too, because there's certain moments where people like are probably really pissed at him.
You know what I thought about? Because like there was some stuff that could probably piss people off and like what the choices they make. Yeah. But they were just so human.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of like I'm just like, oh no, and like it felt like even like with like something Doctor Strange does. That's also, even though like I would say Doctor Strange kind of knew what was going to happen because he went to the future and like that kind of thing. Yeah. But it's still very human what they do. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like I could just like keep doing this, but like I have all these emotions like I do at the end of this movie.
Yeah, and because like you can kind of try to fault Star-Lord on being too like emotionally driven.
He's kind of like
in the one scene, but the scene where Gamora's being captured and he has to follow through with that promise to kill her if like that happens. He does it. I mean, now because of the
it takes a while, but he does it.
Well, because of the reality warping, it doesn't matter because literally that entire scene is being warped by the reality stone. But he does go through with it. And so, and if you want to say like, oh, he's too emotional and he ruins everything, but like that moment I thought was a really strong moment.
Yeah.
Because he did it. I mean, he followed through with the promise. So, yeah.
So, and then Gamora actually has like kind of her own thing because she gets captured by Thanos.
Gamora is like a key player in this movie.
She is actually, which I was I don't know if I was surprised by. It makes sense.
I figured there would be some Thanos Gamora in this movie, but I didn't think it was going to be as big as it was.
I think some people really assume that like she might have like joined Thanos' side in order to save everybody, which isn't actually true. But it turns out so Thanos is like torturing Nebula, which is how we get Nebula in the movie.
Yeah.
To basically because she wants because he wants the Soul Stone.
Yeah.
What does that do actually?
I don't really know.
All right. Somebody,
I think that's going to be a big part in the next movie.
I was going to say, if somebody actually knows what happens with the Soul Stone does, leave it down in the comments, please. Yeah. Thank you. So then she's like, all right, I'll take you the Soul Stone. And then it's protected by Red Skull.
Oh my God.
Because sure.
It's so funny. Okay, so CNN put out this really great article before this movie came out saying, like, here's everything you need to know about the Infinity Stones before you see this movie. And they give a whole timeline of all the movies. And if you can read this article, it's really great. I think we might link it below. But somebody there, like, Captain America, the first Avenger, at the end of the movie, Red Skull gets sucked into a portal. We haven't seen him since. And, like, he's probably just nowhere. And, like, I forgot everything about that until I read that article, and then went over this movie. And then he like shows up. Like, I was so surprised. It was such a shocking reveal to me. I literally shouted in the theater. I was like, "Whoa!" Like out loud.
It might be because like I haven't seen the first Captain America movie, so I'm just like, "Oh, that's interesting." So I wasn't like amazed, but I don't think that was Hugo Weaving. I've like read somewhere that it's not.
Oh really? No,
apparently he wasn't like a big fan of. I think it was mainly like he just like didn't like doing the makeup, which I understand.
Yeah, it was a lot, but also Red Skull is kind of like a big villain in the comics, but like the way they kind of handle him in the first Captain America movie is like, eh. So he didn't get like a great character treatment.
And now he looks like Skeletor.
Now he's Space Skeletor.
But so basically, in order to get the Soul Stone, you have to sacrifice somebody you love. And I know, like, for a while, Gamora had a speech saying, like, well, you can't do that. You don't love anything. But, like, like, they said that, I knew what was, I'm just like, Gamora, like, he loves you. Yeah. I know he didn't show it, but, like, I think it's clear, like, he loved her. Yeah. And I'm like, Gamora, you're dead.
Well, and he said before back in the first Guardians movie, he's like, my favorite daughter, Gamora. So, like, that was set up a while ago.
And I'm just like, oh.
That was set up a while ago.
Oh, no. And then he throws her off the cliff.
And that scene is so, like...
Yeah. Somebody said it was kind of like one of those, like, women in a refrigerator moments. I don't think it was.
No, that wasn't a stuff in the fridge moment at all. I think...
Because isn't that, like, you, like, just kill a person to get a reaction from another character?
Yeah.
But that's not what this was.
That's
like,
not
you
what
knew what you
knew.
Like,
she was integral to the plot, and this was, like, very much part of everything. Now, I think there some criticisms about female characters in this movie. I think there will be.
I feel that, but, like...
It's like watching the movie, like, I enjoyed it much where I didn't automatically see things, but I think as we go back later and pick apart this movie, I think we can find some problems with female characters, and I'm kind of expecting that as we go on.
Like, I know, like, well, I mean, besides the evaporating thing, Gamora's the only woman character who dies.
Yeah, but like it's not necessarily about women who die. It's how
I know. Yeah. But then like I think like, and all the other women are mainly just like in Wakanda and they like nobody's really doing that much like character wise anyway. Yeah. I think they're on the same level as everybody else. And there was that awesome like girl fight.
That girl fight was good.
That girl fight was good
with like Okoye, Black Widow, and Scarlet Witch. That was good. So that was really good. But there's definitely going to be
there's not many female characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Which is a problem to start with.
Well, Captain Marvel's coming out.
Captain Marvel.
Well, I think my friend pointed out to me that, like, in the Marvel comics, there aren't just, like, that many female characters with the exception of, like, the X-Men. Mm-hmm. So I just, like, that's just kind of, like, how it's just been for a while. And I mean, like, if you just look at, like, the time period that, like, it all came out, it just, like, it's just the way things are.
Yeah, and which kind of sucks. I mean, it can be changed. It can be changed.
It can be changed, and it definitely sucks. But I'm kind of like, it's just, I kind of, like, I think, like, if you really want to take it apart, like, you could say, like, oh, yeah, they didn't get much to do, but, like, I feel like...
Yeah, and I know that's going to be a criticism, but I'm not sure how well it's going to hold up over time. Well, not the criticism itself, but the fact that, you know, how some of the female characters are treated or handled. as time goes on, I don't think time will be very kindly to that notion.
The notion that they didn't do much, or
just I off the top of my head, it's hard to like specifically pick out things, but just I remember watching that movie and be like, oh, that might be something that can be criticized. Oh, that might be something we criticize. I think as time goes on, we'll kind of see where that goes. It's hard to tell right now because I'm still kind of riding the high off of first seeing that.
Riding the high, and also we got to see part 2.
Yeah, yes.
I think that's
true. That's a good point.
Yeah, because I think Nebula did, like, she wasn't in it much, but, like, I think, like, she got herself out of the situation.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of criticisms of this movie, can I kind of bring up some of the they're not, like, criticisms that I have, but, like, things I've noticed. Mm-hmm. There was, like, a formula to Thanos getting Infinity Stones. I'm not sure if you realize
What
this.
is it, like, you just go to a place, get the stone?
Go to a place, somebody has the stone. He's like, give me the stone. They say, no. Then Thanos starts killing somebody they love, and they go, okay, wait, no, I'll give you the stone. That happened for, like, almost every stone.
I would agree with that. I agree.
Like, Loki, because he almost killed Thor, he's like, wait, no, I'll give you the stone. With the reality stone, he already kind of had that. Power stone, he already had that. Doctor Strange, that's killing Tony, and he's like, wait, no, I'll give you the stone.
Although that didn't happen with the Mind Stone, if you think about it. That's not exactly how it happened.
Yeah, that's true. It didn't happen with the Mind Stone.
What is the other?
But kind of with the Mind Stone, though, it was like, we have to destroy the stone. I don't want to destroy the stone, but, like, everybody's gonna die. So it was like kind of, but not the same. Yeah, I agree. But
that was sad too.
Yeah,
BT dubs.
But which was sad. But, like, there was kind of a weird pattern to, like,
yeah,
give me the stone. No, okay, well, I'm gonna kill somebody. Okay, well, wait, I'll give you the stone. And I'm like, okay, you could have been a little more creative with that. But But so that was just something I noticed. Also, the fight scenes all have a very similar cadence to them, which I noticed. So, like, the fight scenes, it would always be like, the fight scenes, people are evenly matched, they're fighting, and then, like, something unexpected happens. Either somebody else joins, or, like, there's another move, and then, like, somebody wins, there's a pause, a witty line, and then the next scene. Every single fight scene was like this, which is good. I mean, I enjoyed it, but it was I
feel like, because, like, I think, like, at the movie with, like, my logic and my emotional were, like, kind of, like, triggering at the same time. Yeah. With, like, a lot of stuff, but, like, a lot of times, like, emotion kind of trips logic. So, like, for the most part, for me, like, I agree with you, like, with all of those things. Yeah. But just, like, the emotional impact of everything, kind of.
Yeah. And now I can have those criticisms. I still really
like I said, like, my thing is...
I still love this movie.
Oh, yeah. Like, my thing is just, like, the structures, like, it's kind of a build-up, and, like, it's not brilliant. And I think, like, when it comes to, like, getting all these characters together, I think it works probably about 90%, like, getting everything. Yeah. Which, I mean, that's still an A.
It's an A. It's like you could have done better, so maybe not be like an A+, but still an A.
I've kind of been all over the place with this guy.
Yeah. So let's go back. Do you want to go back to Thanos, or you have something else you want to?
I mean, I just saw, like, Thanos. Like, I think Thanos is, like, because he's been built up since Avengers.
Yeah, I didn't know how Thanos was going to be. I think Thanos is the best Marvel villain so far.
Yes. Yeah, I said that already.
Yeah, I know. Well, because I was also thinking.
And Josh Brolin did a great job.
Josh Brolin did fantastic. It was finally a villain where, like, he, like, had his own views, and it wasn't, like, I feel like every Marvel villain has been the main problem is they're very kind of all similar, and they're kind of same, and they, like, they're not very compelling, and, you know,
there's exceptions.
Yeah, like, Killmonger is probably the best, the second best one
till now.
Yeah, till now.
I only had that thing for, like, 2 months.
Yeah, that's okay. He's still number 2 though.
Well, he's dead, so.
He's also dead.
He didn't die in Infinity War, but spoilers for Black Panther.
But Killmonger still kind of fell into some of the things that the other Marvel villains fell in. Thanos was very much his own. He was a full character.
Yes, that was interesting.
And,
the fact that
finally, yeah, and because and it was weird, and, like, you didn't necessarily sympathize, but you, like, understood, like, he was crazy. He was kind of like this mad god.
Yeah, he just, like, I think it's, like, basically he just, like, believes, like, in order to have balance, you need to destroy, like, half the universe.
Yeah, that's basically his thing.
And it's kind of like, and it's like that, but, like, in the sense that doesn't actually make sense, because, like, oh, you need to destroy half the universe. Like, no, if you destroy, like, specific, because, like, all the murderers could still be alive.
Yeah, he was.
It's not like chaos magic. It's like
it's like kind of like he's weirdly genocidal, and he's like this mad titan or whatever. But, like, the way they present it, though, I think they wrote it very well. He was very well written in, like, his craziness. But, like, and it was just, he was a very compelling villain, like, and he had kind of his own arc to him, and out of the characters who, like, get arcs and like get like actual time to breathe as a character. The one that got the most was the villain,
which is so interesting.
Yes, very compelling. It was so interesting.
I approve, by the way.
Yes, exactly. Like that was a very good thing to do. That was a very smart decision with a movie like this.
I assumed there wasn't going to be any character development in this movie,
but there was. It was just with the villain.
Yeah,
which was cool. That was awesome.
And like even like, cause I think like a lot of stuff that people were saying with like, oh, there's not any character development, it's just like kind of constant action scenes. I was expecting that, so I wasn't upset. Like like with the stuff like you were pointing out, like I didn't realize that, but I wasn't fully upset because like, I'm like, I kind of expected that,
right? So,
and it might be like I still might be on a high, but like I think it's got like an 84% of Rotten Tomatoes, which I agree with.
Yeah, that's because, like I said, if you're like a film person, if you're like a film critic, this movie may not be for you because it's like.
And again, like we said, it's really hard to judge this as a standalone movie.
Exactly, which kind of leaves a lot of room.
You know what I've wondered, and this is just like a random thing. I've always wondered, like with like the part 1 and part 2 things, always like a year until you wait till the next one. I always wondered why they never went like going back to Harry Potter, because like if you notice, part 1 of Harry Potter came out in November. Yeah. Of like 2010, and then the second part came out in July of 2011. So it was only like 6 months.
Less than a year.
I've always wondered why nobody ever does that.
I think it's a money thing. You just summer box office. You just want to cash in on that.
Yeah, I get. Well, yeah, but like even the Marvel movies, like they do well in November because like that's the kind of like.
And also, this is a lot of work to put in a movie. Like if you didn't stay for the credits, but I
know
did.
It's Captain Marvel.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying like the number of people working on this movie, the amount of work it takes to go into this movie to create. I mean, you have dozens of pure CG characters. Well, not even that. I mean, you had the whole weird dog alien army, which was like hundreds and hundreds of things. That kind of stuff takes so much time. So like, it's just a timing thing too. I think you don't want to work those people to death, even though they're already being worked to death.
I think that's kind of like with what we can say. I know this felt a bit rambly, but like guys, we're filled with emotion.
Yeah. But like,
and I feel like a lot of the other stuff, it's like I kind of want to talk about it in like theories.
Okay.
So, but I'm still so sad.
Yeah. When can I talk about my bingo card?
You can do that now. So, Cailin made a bingo card, guys.
All right. Okay. So here's the story. So I've had theories about this movie for years, like about like what's going to be in it, like what's going to happen. So
Captain died.
I was I was bored, and I was at my real-time job, and I obviously wasn't going to, like, do my actual work. I hope nobody who I work with sees this. So, like, I made a bingo card here. If you're just listening to this, just, like, I'm showing it right now.
And she technically got bingo.
Yeah, so...
But I'm disputing one of them, and I will forever.
Okay, so I'm just going to read off some of them here. Because some of them are funny, some of them are very serious.
I love your free space, by the way.
My free space just says, it's just a bunch of A's. That's my free space. So, just reading off some... So my big one, I thought Cap was going to die. Like, that's my theory.
Wrong.
I've had that theory for years.
So wrong.
Cap was going to die, and so he didn't. But that was my one. I thought the intro was going to be too long. I'm not going to read all of these.
It wasn't that, was it? I feel like it was about like the same length.
Captain Marvel teaser. I definitely thought we were going to get, and we did. One scene with Nick Fury, which we did. Bam, the end credit scene crossed off 2 more things off my board. I have one here that says, Bruce Natasha reunion scene that will try to be heartfelt, but I literally will not care at all. It wasn't that heartfelt. I didn't cross that one off. And... Let's see, what was a funny... I thought Hawkeye was going to show up, but he was only going to have one line.
That spoiler. Ant-Man and Hawkeye are not in this movie.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about more in that theories.
I have a theory for that, too.
I thought Iron Man was going to die, but it would be a fake out. I'm not sure if that counted, because he, like, almost died.
But he didn't die.
It wasn't, like, a fake out.
No, I don't know.
So I didn't. So Thanos curb stump battle, which was obvious.
Yes.
I knew that was going to happen, so I crossed that off. So here's the one I got bingo for. So I got bingo on the N row, the vertical row right here, which the first one says, unexpected minor character dies, probably to prove it's getting serious. I crossed that off in the first 5 minutes with Heimdall.
Yes.
I was like, oh, okay.
I'll give you that.
Actually, a lot of characters who I wasn't expecting to die died.
Because half of the cast is dead.
Me or someone in the theater says, oh shit, out loud.
Did somebody?
I did.
Okay. I think after the end of the movie, I just looked at my dad and I'm like, oh shit.
I literally was like, I think it was like 5 minutes in the movie too. I was like, oh shit. That's my free space, just yelling early. Next one, Rocket makes a joke about Bucky's arm.
I didn't expect you to get that one, and then I heard,
definitely thought I was going to get that.
What was the line? It was like, I think he wanted the gun first. He's like, or like,
how much for the gun?
I think,
not sale, and then he goes like, how much for the arm?
Hold on, because I'm going to do a thing, and I think I have it up here. I went on oh crap. Oh, because I wanted to do, after you did this, I was going to say, what were your favorite quips? So this one's on here, and it says, Rock Raccoon to Bucky. How much? Bucky, it's not for sale. Rocket. Not the gun in the arm.
That was good. And then my final one, which you're going to dispute me on, it says downer ending, but like in parentheses, it probably still a little hopeful.
Where was the hope? I know Captain Marvel technically, but like I don't know how. I guess I don't know a ton about Captain Marvel, but like I didn't feel hopeful. Like I knew
save the day.
I know, like, okay, emotionally I didn't feel hopeful. Like, logically, I'm like, but we'll get to that. Do you have any other favorite quips? I went on IMDb and looked up all the quotes, and like there's
anyway, I got bingo, everyone. I'm so happy about that.
I'm disputing your hopeful.
Some of these theories I'm going to carry over to the next one, though. So we'll see what happens. Yes. The favorite clips. There was just some really funny lines in this whole movie, which I wasn't expecting. I think like some people were saying that it was like going to be too quippy, and like especially like with Thor. But then it was fun.
I know, and like Thor's kind of became the comic relief a bit, but like he kind of like has this thing where like he says like his entire family's dead, and like if you think about like humor, it's just kind of like there to like kind of mask and like help you cope.
It's like a coping mechanism.
So you know, I kind of
speaking of that scene where like Thor's kind of talking about I think it was between like Thor and Rocket, and Thor's getting like very emotional. He's talking about like everything he's been through. It was so good.
Yeah,
I think Chris that was one of the other actor moments that stood out. Like
it did. Thor was really good
because it was like the scene where like he was very emotional, but he was trying to mask it, but like he's still like kind of crying a little bit, but he wasn't. And I'm like, it was so good. It was just like a perfect mixture of like everything that scene needed.
Yeah, because like within like a few years, within a few years, his entire family's dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
But my favorite thing. So this is after Thor and Rocket and Groot get the axe, and they how did they get to Wakanda? How did they know to go to Wakanda?
I forget how they got there.
I think it was just like a portal.
Yeah, it was like a portal.
But I don't know why they thought Wakanda.
Because they just went to where Thanos was going to be.
That's true. Okay, I'll give you that. And it's also funny because they got the axe and like the handle thing is made from Groot, which is nice. But so then they get down there and they start fighting, and Thor and Steve like meet up again. They're like, "Hey, what's up?" And like that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And then I think you know where we're going with this. And then Thor introduces them to Groot and Rocket.
This is my friend Tree.
This is my friend Tree. And then Groot's like, I am Groot. And then Steve's like, I am Steve Rogers. That was so funny. And like he did it with like as much enthusiasm. Mm-hmm. And like because like Captain America didn't have that many quips and like wasn't like being that funny about the movie. Like Chris Evans did a great job.
Captain America is really out of focus in this movie.
Which would have made me upset if he died in this movie. Because he was so out of focus.
Originally I thought like going into this movie, I thought he was going to play a very big role in this movie, which
we're going to theories,
it's going to lead to his death. And so no, he was very out of focus here. He showed up to look cool, and he had some Cap moments, but like this wasn't his movie.
No,
it was very interesting.
Yeah, and I kind of because I was wondering because like, he didn't do much of the press. He wasn't like in a lot of the press stuff. Mm-hmm. If you notice. Yeah. He was in some of it, but he wasn't in a ton. But I think that's also because Chris Evans is like doing a play in New York. Mm. But in like all of the interviews I saw him in were like New York based shows. Like I saw him on Good Morning America and Seth Meyers. So I'm like, I think those are all based in New York. So I think that's why. Because then also he kind of looks like one of those like douchebag cops now. That's fine. It's for a play. But like so yeah, like there was and like I knew that like I was surprised like because like that was my thing. Like they're not really focusing on him, and I was like kind of slightly sticking to your theory that like maybe Cap will die, and I'm like I'm gonna be really upset if he dies in this movie because they're not focusing on him.
Yeah.
But
I think the longer the movie went on, like the less I thought he was gonna die because just of how out of focus he was.
Yeah. Do you want to get into theories?
Yeah. Let's get into theories.
So I think the one thing because like they said like when the people like evaporated. That it was actually no. I want to talk about something before that. So, like we said, there's with the deaths. There's the deaths where I think they're permanent. The deaths where they're not permanent.
Yes.
And then the ones that I'm on the fence about.
Okay.
So I'm on the fence about Vision. I think it's gonna come back.
I think Vision's gonna come back.
And Gamora.
I'd be very surprised if Gamora did not come back.
I had the second because like she fell off and I'm like, oh, we're not going to see the body, and I thought like she's actually going to come back in this movie, but then you see the body and I'm like, I just have a gut feeling she's coming back.
She did, but I mean, she may come back. Just
it might be a thing with the Soul Stone and like Thanos like changing his like or like thinking about it more. But I have a gut, and she's not even like one of my favorites. Like I really like her.
Yeah,
she's not one of my favorites, but I just have a gut feeling she's coming back.
She's gotta come back. Yeah.
And then the definite deads are Loki and Heimdall.
Yeah,
they did. The definite not deads is everybody who evaporated. Yeah, and that's like my logic brain like going up because that was kind of I'd say for me like because as I was going, the first one who evaporates is Bucky, and I'm just like, oh no, and then like everybody else starts like evaporating, and then like Falcon,
like T'Challa.
As soon as T'Challa went, I'm like, oh, they're coming back.
Oh, they're coming back.
And I'm like, listen, Black Panther made $1 billion. They already announced a sequel. They're not killing off.
Exactly. There's like a weird kind of like almost like a business mindset like coming out of this movie.
I still cried when T'Challa went.
Yeah, no,
because I love him.
Yeah, because it was like, wait a minute, a lot of these characters have confirmed other movies coming out, like.
Or like their contracts aren't up yet.
Yeah, there's a Guardians 3, there's going to be a Spider-Man 2, there's going to be a Black Panther 2, like, and so you're like logically speaking, you're like,
oh, but again, like the emotion kind of passes through that.
Yeah, but if you like stop thinking about it, just think about like how it worked as a movie, which is why I guess I wasn't sad. I was more like, wow, this was a great movie.
I felt all the emotions. Like even like I know that there's a Spider-Man Homecoming 2 coming out, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to tear up when Tom Holland is dying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that scene was so.
And also, I think part of it, I kind of got the feeling when Falcon left, and I'm like, okay, you just killed off the 2 people who have been like said they're probably going to take over as Captain America. So I'm like, all right. And then I was still kind of like on the fence, like, okay, maybe Captain Marvel takes over. But then I'm like, well, isn't she kind of her own thing?
Captain Marvel is Captain Marvel.
And then once T'Challa went, I'm like, oh, these guys are coming back.
Yeah, and so, but you know what that weirdly sets it up as? Everyone who stays?
It's phase 1. Well, okay, so it was Rocket, all of the side characters, and everybody from phase 1.
Yeah, not all the side characters. Half of them.
No, a lot of them. If you think about it.
Well, like the minor characters, I
guess like Mantis, because she went. So that that kind of counts. Although I am kind of looking forward to Iron Nebula, because if you remember that, the only people left on Titan were Iron Man and Nebula.
I like the whole time, I like walking out of the theater, I'm like, how the hell is Tony going to get back to Earth? It's going to take him like 3 months to get back to Earth.
That's a good point.
Like, he don't know, like, he can work a spaceship, but like, he doesn't know how to like warp. Like, how the hell, unless he finds a portal somewhere, is he going to get back to Earth?
And he's going to
find all of his friends. Well, he's got to get back.
So,
he only has Nebula. Of all people, Nebula's still around.
Thank God. I love Nebula.
Of all people, why Nebula?
Because I love her. She was good in Dark Guardians too, and I love Karen Gillan to bits.
Yeah, but it was just funny.
I remember because it's also on our bingo card because you said Quicksilver might come back.
I thought Quicksilver was either going to come up in a flashback, a vision, or he's going to get resurrected.
Which, because like I know that actor signed like multiple picture deal, but he hasn't been in a movie since Ultron.
Exactly. So I thought like maybe we'd see, because like that's why I'm like, oh, maybe he'll just be in like flashbacks or something. Like Civil War. I thought he was going to be in a flashback. No, but yeah, that's why it was like really tripping me up.
He might come back. I don't know. Like, or maybe they just said he signed a multiple contract deal and then didn't. Or, like, they just said that in order to get people to, like, to not, like, because, like, obviously everybody's seen Age of Ultron.
Yeah, to spoil that he died.
Yeah, so I wonder if they just, like, said that in order to, like allude people saying, like, oh, no, he's going to be in multiple movies, and then he's not.
Yeah, but I still think he's going to, this is another theory I'm going to carry over to the next one. I still think he's going to, like, show up somewhere. Yeah, and not, like, be, like, come back as a full character, but just, like, you just see him.
Okay, yeah, that's, I guess, I Quicksilver's kind of been out of my head for a while, so I'm just like, whatever. Mm-hmm. Those are my theories about, my thing with, like, everybody, with all the people who evaporated, mm-hmm. They just I get really emotional when it comes to fake people who, you know this.
Yeah, I do.
And it was just, like, a really, like, shocker of an ending. Mm-hmm. Especially, like, with Disney. Yeah. Like, Disney's got the balls to do that.
Yeah, Disney's usually the one where, like, everything's okay, guys. It's all
I think by the end of part 2,
they don't take risks.
So, I hope that they don't come back at the beginning of part 2. I hope it's at least maybe like half an hour, 45 minutes, and then they come back.
Yeah. Well, I think, and I somebody said this too to me, that like the people who were still left over were the people that we would first thought were going to die in this movie. Yes. And which
can I still say I was on the fence about that? Even though, like, I might have, like... Yeah. I kept saying I was on the fence because, oh, my God, this is another movie. Yeah. So I was still on the fence.
Yeah. So, but I think that's really interesting, and it's all the Phase 1 people, and, I think what we thought was going to happen in this movie is probably just going to happen in the next movie, where there's going to be, like, a passing of the torch, and, perhaps maybe to get these people back, they have to sacrifice themselves, and then it all kind of makes sense.
So I honestly think, so, like, my thing with this, like, the structure of it's the fourth Avengers movie, right? Yeah. I think it's just going to be like a love letter to Phase 1. Okay. In a way, because that's kind of what started it all. Mm-hmm. And like Like, I know, like, people, like, I don't think people talk trash about the first Avengers movies now. The Avengers movie now, I think it still holds up as a great movie. Like, a great, fun movie.
Avengers, it's fun, yeah.
But, like, that was such a milestone in cinema, if you think about it, guys. Like,
there's this giant crossover.
It's a giant crossover
don't
thing.
Have crossovers.
That, like, if that failed, then there would have been, like, 4 years of work that was for nothing. Mm-hmm. And then also, it led to everybody else wanting to do this.
And failing.
Again, I'm still sticking with the King. I'm still sticking that the King Kong Godzilla one's probably going to work out because they know what it is.
Yeah, those kaiju films are fun.
But, you know, everybody else is failing.
Yeah.
But so like, I like that, despite the fact that, like, it's not like this, like, Citizen Kane of a movie.
Yeah.
It's still a big milestone in, like, cinema changing. Mm-hmm. So we stick with that. So I think it's going to be, like, a love letter to that. And because for a while I was thinking, like, not all of the Phase 1 Avengers were going to die. I thought many of them were going to retire. I think they're all dead.
They're going to die.
All of them.
Yeah.
Including, because I was thinking, like, maybe Black Widow may retire. But I think she's going to die.
She's going to die.
I know they're doing a movie, but they said it's going to be a prequel movie.
Characters that I'm not 100% on dying. I still think Cap's going to 100% die.
Yes,
I'm still going to hold true to that.
Yeah, totally.
Cap, I feel like Cap has to die.
Yes.
Black Widow probably. Character and, like, everyone. Who else? Thor, I guess.
I think Tony's going to die.
Really? I am on the fence with Tony, just only because the beginning scene of the movie sets up with, like, him and Pepper, like, where he's, like, thinking about, like, settling down. Well, true. But, like, settling down, I think, like, maybe, I was, like, thinking about making a reference to something you wouldn't understand.
Okay.
So, well, like, maybe, like, you know, he has to give up something, and the thing he has to give up isn't necessarily his life, but it almost is his life, giving up being Iron Man forever. That could be, like, in a way that he still lives, but he's not in anything anymore. Because, like, Iron Man is so much, I think, to Tony Stark, but it is its own entity. I think that would be kind of almost more compelling than, like, just him dying, is him having to give up everything that kind of made him for years. You know, over a decade at this point.
Yeah, goddamn, Rob Downey has been doing this for a decade.
Yeah. So I think that would be, like, that's the only reason why, if I don't think he'll die, it's because they could find a really compelling way to do it where, like, somehow giving up being Iron Man is
like a death.
Not a fate worse than death, but it's a death. It is the same weight as a death.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I think that'd be very interesting.
Can they kill Hulk?
That was my next point. I'm like, because I feel like Hulk, I don't know, I feel like Hulk hasn't shined.
The weird thing is, like, technically the Hulk, like, Bruce Banner's in the majority of the movie. The Hulk is barely in the movie. He's in the Hulk buster most of the time. Like, so I feel like it's going to be a thing where, like, the Hulk doesn't want to come out.
Yeah, and I feel like he got his ass kicked by Thanos. Yeah,
because there was a thing in the Avengers where he said, "I tried to kill myself," and the giant monster shot
the big guy spit the bullet
back out. So, but I wonder if it's going to be a thing where, like, he gets like somehow killed again, and the big green monster doesn't do anything.
Yeah, so I don't. That's interesting, but, like, I don't know, because, like, I feel like, okay. Side note about the Hulk here, like, I feel like we haven't explored Hulk as a character.
I think that's only because, like, it was originally Ed Norton and then they recasted it.
Yeah, but
I feel like that's a big reason.
And, like, there's, like, a weird executive that said, like, oh, you can't have a solo Hulk film, and I'm like,
but you have.
They have, but not one that works well. And I'm like, but why? Like, it's so interesting because, like, a lot of the conflict with the character is between Bruce Banner and Hulk and the same person. Like, literally, you don't need other characters. Well, you do need other characters. But, like, the conflict is, like, this internal conflict. And it was really interesting. And we got to, like, see, like, that little snippet of that here. And it's, like, we only talk about, I feel like, Hulk in the context of these movies as being, like, the big guy that has to come out and just, like, fight
But Bruce Banner's an interesting character.
Yeah, but I feel like the most we got to explore that was probably Thor Ragnarok. Yeah. Outside of the Incredible Hulk, like, we really don't get to see it a lot. In the Avengers, it was like, we're scared of this guy coming out because he's gonna, like, frickin' kill us all. And then, like, Age of Ultron
was with the romance.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
All right, we don't have to.
But, like,
again,
no,
we have
but,
Scarlet
like,
Witch and Vision now, which is actually, like, a good romance, I would say.
Yeah, exactly. But, like, that wasn't, like Bruce Hulk as a character, and so we haven't really, like, explored that a lot. And you probably won't ever get a solo movie of it. But I'm like, it's not like that you can't make a good solo movie for Hulk. It's that, like, nobody knows how to do it right, and nobody's willing to try to do it right.
I could buy him living, but, like, something happens where it, like, truly, truly damages him.
Yeah, something.
And he goes into hiding, and then there's, like, a solo Hulk movie where, like, for some reason he needs to come out of hiding.
Yeah, and so, like
kind of like with the Incredible Hulk and, like, Into the Avengers when I think he wasn't hiding anyway, but I think it's gonna be, like, something similar to that.
I think they can do it in a way that they write off, like, the Hulk ever being in it again. And I don't think it'd be the same as what I'm saying with Iron Man. Like, I don't think they'd, like, somehow, like, Banner and the Hulk gets, like, are separate entities. I think something that happened where they could write it out where Mark Ruffalo doesn't have to come back. But, like, I don't know. I think the Hulk is, like, I feel like we haven't explored, like, the true, like, what the Hulk is. Like what that power is. Like, what it can do. I feel like there is a lot of, not missed potential, but a lot of unexplored, I think, potential in that character. So if they end up killing off Hulk, it'll be like, oh, okay. I don't think it'll elicit a strong reaction from me.
I guess him and Tony are two people I can see, like, just like, kind of retiring.
Yeah.
But I think everybody else is dead. Although, we need to bring this up. So there's another movie in July coming out called Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yes.
We need to talk about that.
We got to talk about Ant-Man, just in general.
I have a theory.
Oh,
okay.
Sure.
So I know they said this is going to take place before Infinity Wars.
Oh, did they?
I saw an article there. Okay. I think that's only slightly true. I think it's going to take place before and coinciding with it. And at the end, either Ant-Man and or the Wasp are going to evaporate.
Yeah.
Also, I think Hawkeye's going to appear.
Oh, okay.
I have a theory. Because again, and, like, also, I don't think I'm on the fence about Hawkeye dying.
I don't think Hawkeye needs to die.
He doesn't.
He doesn't need to, because they already wrote him out. So, like,
they kind of did wrote him out. I think he's going to appear in the final movie, though.
Yeah. Oh, no. My joke was that, like, the next movie is literally just going to be Ant-Man, a Hawkeye buddy cop film. It's just going to be, like, two buddy cops. Like, just
I'm kind of wondering if it's going to... They should make a movie about that.
It was...
Ant-Man and Hawkeye.
What was the... I made a joke. Hold on. I made a joke to a friend in the conversation here.
Like, no, like, I'm not saying, like, Hawkeye's going to be, like, in a ton of the movie, but I think, like, he might have, like, heard something, like... Because, like, I think it's just, like, I think the Ant-Man and the Wasp was, like, a heist movie, and I think, like, maybe, like, at some point, like, Hawkeye's, might not even be, like, Hawkeye's gonna be in the full movie, but just, like, maybe, like, a cameo thing, and he's gonna call Scott.
Kind of like what Falcon
because, like, basically the reason that they're not in the movies is because they made Hawkeye and Scott Lang made a deal with the government, because they have families. They're the only two, are they the only two with, like, families? Or, like, with kids, at least?
I think so. Or, like, mostly. Yeah.
Yeah. So they made a deal, so they're on house arrest, so they don't want to get them involved, which is nice. Which is, you know, you write them out good for, and so that kind of thing. But we were all saying, like, because it was funny that Jeremy Renner and Paul Rudd were, like, so many people say it's funny that Jeremy Renner's not doing any of the press, and I'm like, here's Paul Rudd.
Yeah, because they're not in
the movie, guys.
But no, my joke was, like, it's gonna be like this, like, buddy cop kind of style film. So, like, this is my pitch to a friend. So, like, Hawkeye walks in, where, like, the movie ends. And he, like, runs his fingers across the ground, gets up, puts his sunglasses on, and says, "Guess we're all just dust in the wind." And then, like the yeah song starts playing, but he's, like, crying.
Yeah. So I think but
that's my pitch.
I think, like, towards the end of the movie, Hawkeye's gonna say, like, hey, like, there's, like, I've heard, like, this thing going on in, like, from, like, in Wakanda.
Yeah.
It's like, what's going on with that? And then I don't know if Hawkeye's going to evaporate. I'm going to say no.
No, phase 1. He's going to stick around.
Yeah, I know. So I'm thinking that. But I think Ant-Man or the Wasp or both are going to evaporate.
I think the Wasp, not Ant-Man. I think Ant-Man's going to be...
But he's a phase 2 hero.
I think he's still going to be... He wasn't in this movie for a reason. I think he's going to stick around. All right, yeah.
I could buy him. Okay.
But yeah, I think that it's either going to be the very end scene or the post-credit scene in Ant-Man is going to be somebody evaporating.
Yeah, I generally don't know, like, why, like, the ending scene just, like, got me so, like, emotional. One, I think because, like, I wasn't...
Good.
It was good. I think it was just because, like, I think because, like, I was, like, still thinking the part where, like, everybody's going to, like, dying, and then the snap. Mm-hmm. And then as the movie went on, I just forgot. Yeah. And then it sat there, and I'm like, what? Yeah. And then people started dying, and I'm like... Oh my God.
The part leading up to that was really good because, like,
it's like Vision.
The part with Thor, where Thor, like, creates this, like, you know, like, this, like, Titan killing weapon, and then he, like, he just, like, straight up axes Thanos. I'm like, oh, are we ending here? Are we just gonna this is like, really anticlimactic?
Now we know Thanos is gonna die.
Then Thanos goes, you should have aimed for the head, and I was like, oh
snap.
Shit. Like, he's gonna.
By the way, can I talk about this? Like,
he's gonna do it.
Can I say this because, like, I love Vision. His death was just, like, depressing. I know that all the deaths were depressing.
Yeah.
But just, like, the fact that it's just, like, this really, like, sad scene between him and Scarlet Witch and just, like, her trying to destroy the stone and then he dies and then, like, I just, like, was, like, all in, like, this head and then the second, like, I saw, like, the green thing, I'm like, oh my God, there's a time stone. And then in reverse, they just, like, plucked, like, half his head off.
Yep. But,
I guess, and like I think it's like also just because like I had a lot of coffee. I don't know why I got so emotional. I just like I didn't like cry. Like I'll say that, and I didn't cry myself to sleep as I was like joking with people. I did tear up with Spider-Man though. Yeah, but that one's just hard.
A hard scene. I think everyone who says like that was hard. That was just hard. He's just a kid.
And he was because like everybody else was kind of like evaporated. He was the only one who spoke. But said, hey, I don't feel good.
I think the theory here was that because he has a spidey sense.
So he could feel it.
So he knew what was going to happen before anyone else knew it was going to happen.
I'm also kind of wondering like what Dr. Strange saw. Because like he said like, oh, there's like 14 million ways to go. There's only one where we win. Yeah. And I
was expecting him like as soon as he gave up the soda to be like as soon as like everything was going terrible, be like, oh, this is the one where we win. And everyone goes like, oh, shit.
But he said this is the only way.
Which means it's the one that they went with. This scene was written kind of weird, I thought. But yeah, so like, again, this is the scenario where they went. And it's really funny because this is a great writing technique. You know why? It's a great writing technique because then, you know, oh, I saw 14 million. There's only one where we win. And with any criticism of the movie, somebody can say, well, like, but this was the only way. Which is great. Like, can you think about it? Like, any, like, plot hole or something, you're like, no, but the way they're doing it was the only way to do it to win. And so, bam, you suddenly write off any criticism. Yeah.
You know, which is great. You know what I'm kind of wondering? Because, like, as we said, there's, like, the split between, like, it's, like, again, with the evaporating people, like, 10 and 10. Yeah. And, like, somebody said, like, if, like, you want to save one person, you have to, like, let somebody else die. I think it's going to be, like, a full flip. But then that doesn't work. I don't think that works if they do like a whole like okay, one person saves this person, one person because like
I think
how's Steve gonna choose between two boyfriends? JK,
but not. But I think it'll be kind of like that, but more like metaphorical than literal. I think it will like kind of play off as that. I think we'll see kind of the passing of a torch from one character to another. Well, because I think as far as like budding up, I think Rhodey, Falcon are like the buddies, so it'd be like Rhodey for Falcon.
So one black guy for the other.
Yeah, exactly. Diversity. So I think it's going to be like I think they're going to do that the one for one, but it's going to be more like on a metaphorical scale, like something that you'll see after the movie, not necessarily like as a plot point.
Oh, okay. Sense. We forgot to bring about like Rhodey because like I know his warranty. He's on the fence with me with dying too. I might see. The only thing I can see is like Don Cheadle not wanting to do this anymore, which I can get.
Yeah, he's just like, all right, I'm done, folks.
Which I could, but I could also see him like retiring.
Yeah, that's
like that kind of thing. Because I know, and like the other thing is like who's going to be Captain America after Steve dies? Because
Falcon.
Falcon or Bucky.
I think it's Falcon. In the comics, it's Falcon.
No, I think I've read like some. It's also Bucky. Like they both take over at one point. I wanted
recently it was Falcon.
I want two, and I want them to be a team.
The Captain's America.
Yes, because like some people are saying like, oh yeah, Bucky's going to be like permanently dead, and I'm like Sebastian Stan signed like a 9-picture deal, and I think he's only been in like 3 or 4 movies, guys.
Winter Soldier, Civil War, this one.
Technically, the first Avenger.
Oh yeah, that one too.
So it's 4, and I think he signed a 9-picture deal. So, and then if you count the next one, that's 5. So
you got some movies left.
I'm just saying, guys. Okay. Like, feel good. That's on like a contract sense.
All right, we should wrap it up because we are going to get kicked out in a minute.
Yes. Okay. So very good movie.
Yes.
Would watch. It's a part 1. It is emotionally draining. You might tear up a bit.
Yeah.
I just like teared up. Honestly, I'm saying this like full honesty, like not trying to make myself like saying like I'm an adult, guys.
Yeah.
I'm saying I did just like tear up. I didn't actually like full blown cry, but inside I wanted to.
Yeah, I think this was a super and it's so good because I think a lot of the criticism with Marvel movies is that they don't have like stakes and people don't die and like you don't feel like anything's at risk. But this
even though like we know like some of these people are
these people are coming back.
Everybody evaporates coming back, guys.
There's still something very real about it. It felt very real.
I say that even with like other Marvel movies where there's no consequences, like something bad could happen, but it still feels real to me in the moment. I can go back and be like, that didn't really matter, but like. In the moment, you feel it. If
it elicits emotion, there's something good to say about it, I think.
Yes.
But yeah, I think
like we can criticize like the fighting was all the same, like everything with the stones, and like if the female characters like didn't do a ton.
So, yeah, it did well, did enough, did it right.
It was like any female characters did a lot. It was Gamora.
Yeah, I think as far as like the biggest roles in this movie, it was Thanos. I think Gamora was almost behind Thanos there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, like, you could criticize that, but, like, in the moment and, like, just thinking about, like, the moment, like, you just, like, because, like, these are characters you've been following for 10 years. like, you might not have followed all of them for 10 years, but, like, you've been following this for 10 years, and you've grown to love these people. Mm-hmm. And, like, you could tell, like everybody would just, like, love doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this was a passion project, not just for the directors, not just the writers, but for the actors, too. And so it showed, and it feels... You can feel it. You can feel the passion in this movie. Yeah. And it's great. So... all
right, guys.
We gotta... Yeah.
We're on Facebook and at Woody Close Productions. We're on Twitter, Woody Close. Guys, it's on YouTube, so like and subscribe and leave a comment and turn on notifications.
Or if you're on iTunes right now because you're listening to this, subscribe, leave us a rating, review, or go to YouTube, subscribe, all that kind of just stuff.
We have an email, woodyclose@gmail.com. We're on Patreon if you want to throw us some money if you really like the way we rambled about this movie, because we kind of just rambled.
Yeah, and leave us a comment. Tell us what you think of, like, what we said. If you, like, agree with us or agree with us, tell us your theories. I want to know all your theories.
Yeah, I want to know definitely all of your theories. If you agree or disagree, we'll talk about them the next time we record and do the comments stuff.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right, guys. We're going to go cry for a bit more.
And get out of this library before they kick us out.
Peace.